What's up guys, my name is Martin and this is a really long overdue video, okay? I did HYROX last year. It took me a year of procrastinating to get to this point, alright? But in about a week, I'm gonna be doing my HYROX Opens, which is why I'm making this video today, is because if you're like me and you're new to HYROX, you're probably watching a lot of videos to get ready, and also you really wanna figure out what it is like on competition day, and that's exactly how I felt. I was watching endless videos, just trying to get myself familiar because I was like, what the hell even is HYROX? So I basically documented my entire journey. I trained maybe only 10 times, I believe, going from not knowing anything to competing in the pros, and ended up being top 7 in my age category. So I'm gonna drop my Instagram down below, and this video is really gonna be a chill video. I'm gonna just walk through what HYROX was like when I did it, competing in solo pros, barely training, despite being the smallest. All right, I was literally the smallest person in solo pros. Like, everyone else was like a freak of nature, a genetic phenom. But anyways, I did a lot of things wrong, and my hope for you is that you are ready enough for your race day. All right, so that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm just gonna go all through these one by one, and I'm just gonna drop the timestamps below. Feel free to check out the timestamps, but I will drop a few nuggets here and there, so you might as well just watch the whole video, all right? But with that said, moving on. So after running your first kilometer, the first thing you're going to be doing is the SkiErgs. Now, the SkiErgs for some reason just felt so much longer. I don't know if it's because of the adrenaline or whatever the case is. Just expect things to be a lot harder, okay? So if I had to critique myself, it would be, train more, which I'm doing my next HYROX next week, and let me tell you, I've gained 17 kilos since this day, and I have not been training at all. But I'm gonna go again, so make sure you follow and stay tuned for next week. But anyways, this is station number 1, followed by another run, which then goes to sled push. Now, there's a lot of controversy with the carpet. A lot of people talk about that, saying either the carpet is too rough and it makes it really hard, or the surface of the floor is uneven. So it just makes it all the more harder to go push the sled, right? For me, I think that was the case. I don't know if it's my shoes or if it was a carpet, but it really was harder. It really was harder. And what was even worse than the sled push was actually the sled pull. Now, this one was manageable. I don't know if it was because I still had a bunch of energy in the tank, but here are the photos from HYROX themselves. Just to give you an idea, if you wanna pay for photos, there is a little get around where you just ask AI to remove the watermark, but well, damn, don't tell HYROX I said that. But anyways, this was pretty hard, but I think I did pretty okay. Then again, the only thing I really struggled with was the sled pulls and the wall balls, right? So my big mistake is actually eating a few minutes before the race. And that's stupid, but I don't know why I did that, right? That's just a mistake of mine. I think I was just a little bit too chill, and the venue was so big. Like, let me just show you what the venue looked like. This was me an hour before my race started, but I was just exploring, just going around, checking it out, looking at other people doing the competition. And actually outside the competition itself was just a bunch of cool things, right? Also a bunch of food. So I ended up stuffing my face with a bunch of food, thinking that was a great idea, and I was basically full when the race started. So of course that led to me cramping up the entire time. But anyways, sled pulls was disastrous. Look at my face over here. In total agony, right? The pro weights is just not a joke when it comes to sled pulls and sled push. But this one just took me so long to complete, guys. Like, it was a disaster. Look at my face. Look at my face. Here's me with my tongue out, looking all cool. I don't know why I did that, but man, this was just absolutely brutal. Let me try to find a video of me doing the sled pulls, and you can just see how it just did not move, okay? All right, so this is me attempting to pull it. I think that wasn't the real one. There, that's my pull. Pull. Like, dude, it barely moved. Yeah, this is where I was struggling. Let me try to find another clip. Maybe this one over here. Let me just show you guys one pull and see how much it goes. Then again, look, I feel like... Okay, yeah, and that's basically it, right? So it took me a while to complete this. Now, I still managed somehow to be top 7, and yeah, I don't know how I did that, right? Let me just go through one by one, and I'll tell you where I think I started to excel a little bit. Despite cramping, I believe it was after the sled pulls. So rows, I really like rows because this is probably one of the only stations where you can kinda rest, I believe. This is a pretty sick photo, but rows is where you can kinda just sit there and just keep going. I think my strategy when it comes to the rows, let me just show you a video. Oop. Yeah, here's some photos as well. And over here, this is sort of my personal strategy. Again, you guys find out yourselves what works for you, but honestly, I just close my eyes, like you can see over here in the video, and I just find a rhythm and stick to it, right? No thinking, just close your eyes, find a rhythm, stick to it. Take a peek at the dashboard every now and then to see where you're at, but for the most part, I just close my eyes and just keep rowing, I guess, and take the time to just rest a little bit. Because what's next, I believe, is the burpee broad jumps, I think? Or was it the farmer's carry? But damn, look at these photos, man. Again, you guys decide, do you think it's worth it for you to purchase the photos? I did, so if you, most of your photos are just gonna look like this, man. But yeah, burpee broad jumps, brutal. I think for me personally, this one really, it's really taxing. It costs you a lot in terms of your stamina. I think for me personally, the lactic acid buildup is the most brutal in the burpee broad jumps. Right. Next was probably farmer's carry. There's actually a clip of me doing the farmer's carry where it's quite funny. Oh, here's another burpee broad jump clip. Yeah, I would just go fast and then take long breaks. And I'd grab like a random water bottle. Not recommended, but that was what I was doing. I remember just being so exhausted at this point. And my calves were killing me because I kept cramping. But this was pretty funny. Farmer's carry, again, the weights were really, they were tough, but they were manageable. Here's a clip of me. That's why it's important to actually listen to the brief. I know I listened to the brief, but what happened was, in this clip, I actually went the wrong direction. Shout out to my girlfriend, by the way, MVP, but there was me going in the wrong direction and me getting laughed at by this guy. Look at that. So I dropped the weight, and my hands just go up. And I just go, whoa. I just go, whoa. So the weights were so heavy, when I dropped the weights, my arms just flew up by themselves. That was really, like, I was speechless at that point. That's why, in the clip, it's really funny. When I drop them, you can just look. They just go up. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, I'm like, whoa. Like, again, it's so fun looking back at this, but in the race itself, oh, there's me gonna follow him, follow his pace. But yeah, man, like, the amount of support you get from random people is insane. Like, Hong Kong specifically, I think the crowd is crazy. After the farmer's carries is probably lunges. Yeah, the lunges for me were no problem. I didn't stop. I found a pace for me that worked, and I just stuck to it to the end. And the most brutal part was running in between from the middle of the race to the end, because I was just cramping so hard that I couldn't do anything but just walk, right? But I believe I only had one photo. Where is it? One photo of me in the wall balls, which I tried to do unbroken, but of course I couldn't. And the wall balls was really tough. The judge watching me honestly asked me if I wanted to quit. Like, 2 people came up to me and asked me if I wanted to quit because I was just shouting and cussing at the wall ball. Like, I was looking at the ball and I was just cussing because I was cramping the whole time, and yeah, it was just tough, man. But we finished it, and yeah, it was just an amazing experience. I had fun at the end. Again, it's such an overstimulating event because of the energy. And would I do it again? Yes. Yes, I would. I actually cramped on the floor here after this photo. That's a fake smile. But guys, next week is going to be my next HYROX, my first opens, so that's going to be interesting to see. I really wished I trained more, but the reality is I'm too lazy, and unless I have a goal, will I actually train? So my train is to actually cut down and get to my peak physique again, because I gained 17 kilos since my last HYROX, and I don't know, let's just see how I perform, man. If you are doing HYROX yourself, let me know down below how it was for you. I know this is a really unorganized video, but I hope you appreciate it nonetheless. Maybe next week I'll do a better one. But yeah, no fancy editing, no structure in this, just my honest thoughts. I hope you appreciate it. If you do, leave this video a like, comment down below, subscribe, and just follow me on Instagram. But that's pretty much it for today. My name is Martin. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.